All right, so we're recording. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hello.
Everybody, again, this is John Martin, trial attorney with KJC Law Firm in Boston and Worcester. And here with me is Jacqueline Montero. Thank you for agreeing to do this. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great.
So going to do so I've been getting a lot of messages from people about what it is that we're doing. So I'm sitting here in my basement. I have an office upstairs, but my 5-year-old is up there and he doesn't care about noise.
No.
So I'm down in the basement just asking people questions about their life during the pandemic. And your life is pretty interesting, I would imagine, because you have a little baby at home.
Mm-hmm.
You are a CNA working with providing medical care, and your boyfriend is working at a very large grocery retailer. So he's also an essential employee. So you guys are just real busy right now.
Yeah, we're just like your main attraction for COVID-19.
Oh my God. That's so funny, but so scary.
It's scary, but it's like but it's like the truth. It's just like,
Yeah, you're constantly exposed, huh?
yeah.
So where do you work?
So I work at UMass. I work in the ICU
Okay.
at the university campus.
Okay. What's it like over there? I heard they had tents out front for triage and everything right now.
Yeah, right now they have, so if you come into the ER, you're getting screened. They've had tents out there actually for quite a few weeks now. I think when this started to really be like, okay, this is real, they were like, all right, it's like, they were pretty quick about trying to figure out how to navigate through that, and I think cut through the noise a little bit.
Right. So. What are the so what is your shift there? How often are you working there in the emergency room at because that's a busy hospital. That's a busy emergency room, right?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the ICU, one of the ICUs, because we have like 4 or 5. So I'm part-time. So I work Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then every other weekend. So this weekend coming will be my weekend on. So,
and they're saying that this weekend is supposed to be a little bit of I mean, I know it's just an estimate, but they're expecting a surge in the very near future. So you might be on shift for that.
Yeah, I think that what we're seeing right now is definitely the beginning of the spike.
Yeah. What makes you say that?
I think when it first started and we're just preparing, we're getting people like coming in that, you have to just automatically go in, to be confirmed or not confirmed, right? So it's just like, and we're seeing a lot of negatives, but now as they're coming in, we're getting the positives. So it's like they're definitely starting to trickle in, but it wasn't like off the bat, like it was just being more safety reasons, and now I think we're seeing, at least from what I'm seeing, is more. Now it's like the patients coming in are positive, it's like confirmed cases. Right.
So in the beginning, you think the majority of the preventative measures or whatever were pulled out with negative tests, but now you're seeing a lot more positives?
Yeah, definitely.
How severe are the positive cases? I mean, on the news, it looks pretty bleak in a lot of cases, but there's a lot of, is that the little man back there?
Yeah.
Well, don't let me interrupt you if you need to take him or whatever. I can shut down any time.
Yeah, no, he's just, he might just get some baby babble. He's a talker.
Oh, that's perfect. They'd rather hear him.
After his father.
I feel like I know him from Facebook.
I know, everyone's seeing him grow.
He's a trip. He's definitely got you guys' personality. He's really funny.
Yeah.
So what is the severity of the cases like? Are the patients doing okay, or is it inconsistent, or what's happening?
I think for us, what we're seeing is like what I've been seeing since I came in, like even the difference between working Tuesday and then working Thursday. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Here's a cracker. Now we know where comfort eating comes in from.
I was just thinking, I do the same thing, running up to the fridge all the time.
Even from just the Tuesday and the Thursday, seeing, coming in Tuesday and seeing patients like, still unconfirmed, and then coming in Thursday and actually seeing the actual cases of patients that actually have it, and the severity of that, and being vented and being proned, and, and I think that for me, the surprise is like, everyone wants to say it's the older, folks that are more susceptible. And what I'm seeing is they're our age,
Really? Now, when you
so
said,
we're not exempt.
When you said a couple of terms there, they're probably really common in your profession, but when you said vented and proned, what are those? Ventilation has something to do with
So
ventilation?
using ventilators, so helping them breathe. So they're not breathing on their own. They're using a machine. Okay. And then being proned, so like, usually you're in a hospital bed, right? You're on your back. But this, you would be flipped because of the lungs and the breathing capacity. So you would be proned and you would be flipped on your stomach.
So you're even seeing people in their 30s or 40s who are requiring ventilators or requiring to be put in that prone position in order to help them breathe.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have any idea how many patients are on ventilators at UMass? Now?
I wouldn't have like the whole scope because I only work on one ICU, which there's a few of our floors already that have been turned into a specific COVID-like unit to deal with that in that capacity. But I would say more than not, they're on vents.
Really?
Yeah.
So more of them are going on vents than are not going on vents.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. So, you said earlier, and it was funny that you guys the case book for COVID-19. It must be kind of scary with a little one at home that the two of you are so, facing so much exposure in the important work that you're doing.
Yeah, I think that it's scary because it's just this invisible thing that, like, no matter what you do, you still don't know if it's effective. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because I can take my shoes off at the car, which I do. I change my shoes as soon as I even get out of the hospital. And then, when I'm picking him up, I don't even like really touch him. I just grab the car seat, I put it in the car. I come in, I don't even, like, usually I would just, grab him up and like take him out of the car seat and do whatever. But it's just like, as soon as I get into the door, it's like, I have to strip, I have to run into the shower, like, so that time of interaction where it's like, okay, Mom, what the hell is going on? This is not, it's not normal.
Right.
And even that doesn't guarantee that I'm not exposed or exposing him.
Right.
Like it's just another way to try to prevent, but it doesn't mean that we're less likely to have it or to,
Where do you pick him up from? Is he going to one of those emergency child care centers in the day that are open for healthcare workers?
Oh, actually, thankfully for me, he still goes to my mom's.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So my mom, and she works, she actually works in a detox. So it's kind of like she's, I guess, just is as exposed as we are, right? So
you are one brave family. My goodness. Wow. How about do any of the people that you work with, do you know if any of them are using, because I know that there's a consortium of childcare centers in Worcester that are providing childcare for free to first responders, healthcare workers, and stuff like that. Do you know anybody who's benefiting from that?
I personally don't. I heard of it,
Good.
which I think that in the grand scheme of things, that's great. Like because you have to go to work and you need childcare. I mean, but I think it's scary too because like we like have this idea of like protecting your child, and then you're just gonna go bring your child to someone you don't even
Right.
know. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of scary that's
Yeah.
an option. I mean, it's great,
Sure.
but and
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just
for me that would be scary.
absolutely. Well, you do know somebody at one of them. One of those centers was two of them actually were founded by my mom and my brother's running them.
Really?
So yeah, so if you ever want to meet somebody that
Oh, that's good
yeah, you could
to
definitely meet
know.
my brother. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Great. He wasn't as good of an athlete as I was, but he's good at running his businesses.
Good at running the babies.
Yeah. What about personal protective equipment? What kind of personal protective equipment do you have at work? And, are you experiencing shortages, or tell us how you keep yourself safe at work?
So yeah, I mean, as soon as you come into the hospital, they give you a mask and they have you, foam in and foam out. But I would say that like supplies are definitely scarce, and that they're giving them out in like limited quantities. I mean, I guess it's just like no one thinks of it, like no one thought of this, you know what I mean, like that this would even be a problem, that we wouldn't have sufficient amount of supplies that we need, that this, which is kind of like mind-boggling that it's come down to this. And now it's like, okay, but you're only getting this for the day, and you're like, okay, but I'm taking care of it. Like essentially they're taking care of an entire unit, an entire hospital that requires such strict precautions now, and it's not there.
Yeah. I would imagine that at a hospital that size, you probably get tons of trainings about policies and different emergencies and code reds and code blues and code, magenta. I don't know. Have you ever had any type of training or seen any types of policies before this about how to deal with a pandemic or how to deal with a very, serious virus issue?
I mean, I feel like not in this scope. Like I don't even think that this would, you get your training on like, the regular flu, right? Or like certain things that you might get like C. diff or, stuff like that you would have to learn how to be protective for yourself and the patient, right? So as soon as flu season comes, everybody gets their flu shot. And if you refuse your flu shot, then you have to wear a mask. And like, there's no children under 14 allowed. And like, like they try to do as much as they can to lessen the exposure for the patients and stuff like that. So we've seen things like that in place. And like, there's definitely like, training on how to use the proper PPEs and like what's needed for what. But on this level, I don't think anyone was prepared in any type of way. Yeah,
it's unprecedented. I mean, there was some pretty close calls, I guess, along the way, but this is pretty amazing. I think I asked you all the questions I have, but for those of us at home who don't see inside the hospital or see what you see every day, is there anything you can think of that you want to tell us about, or that we should know, or anything you've seen that you're really going to remember? Because this is a kind of an amazing time in history. Anything you've seen that you're really going to remember forever that you'd want to share with us?
This is, what I would love to say is that, because, right, we have the Facebook, we have the Instagram, and I think that if you're not in this field, if you're not exposed in this type of way, it's so surreal that like you're not taking it serious, right? Like you're not really thinking that it can happen to you, right? But it's real, and families are having to mourn their loved ones from a distance over a phone, like not, you know, like 15 minutes you get to say bye to a family member. Like imagine like being on the other side of that and having 15 minutes to say goodbye to, I can't, like, even being in that position, like if it was like my grandmother who I haven't been able to see in 6 weeks, you know, I haven't been able to see my 15-year-old in 6 weeks, you know, and to be on that side and be like, okay, now I'm going to say bye to you in 15 minutes. I'm not going to be able to bury you properly. And, you know, and then the traumatic effect of that, you know, like this is real. This is not a game. This is not a hoax. And I wish people could feel that in that capacity, you know, because this is not only just going to affect us now, it's going to have long-term trauma effects afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how do you heal from that? You know, how are you going to be okay after? You know, how are you going to trust healthcare and trust people when, you know, and for us, we're, you know, I can see firsthand that, like, I have the best nurses, I think, you know, like, I just admire them so much for the work that they put out and the courage and strength that they have. But what is the effects afterwards, you know?
That's a good question. Do you feel like the nurses and doctors and CNAs like yourself, because there's just so many different professions that work in a hospital, do you feel like those people are witnessing a lot of traumatic things that are going to, you know, affect them later in their lives?
Absolutely. I do. I feel like it's something that you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy.
He's so cute. That, you know, I just, on behalf of everybody, I just really want to thank you and all of your friends and coworkers who are doing this work. We're all very much appreciative of it, and it's just really amazing. For the people out there at home that could show you guys some love or appreciation or support, what types of things can people do to show their support and appreciation for the nurses and the CNAs and the therapists and everybody else who's putting themselves in harm's way?
Stay home. No, stay home. On a bigger level, I know that. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, that would be great.
Say hi, naked baby.
Oh, look at this guy.
Say hello.
Hi, buddy.
No, I would say, you know, there is a lot of people reaching out, and like, I mean, if nothing else, we eat well. You know, people are making masks, people are making, you know, head scarves, and I mean, people are rallying. If nothing else, the community has, you know, rallied and pulled together. So, yeah.
Well, you know, I'm seeing everywhere on Facebook that you guys are heroes, and just from seeing it firsthand from you, I absolutely agree with that. I want to thank you again. Thank you so much. And he's just so cute.
Hello.
And, I hope you guys all stay safe. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.